Mental illness is not only stigmatized, but it's also glamorized in many outlets. So that is what we're talking about in today's video. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel and I am a coach to help you live a better life, to be your true self. And today's topic is precisely about stigmatization and glamorization of mental illness in media and social media. So I'm sure you'll find this video helpful. Mental illness is often misunderstood. People make fun of those who struggle, laugh, and pointing fingers when deep down they don't understand what the person is going through. Often television shows and movies depict people with mental illness as a crazy lunatic or deeply depressed person unable to cope in society. While some people may be like this, it doesn't represent the vast majority of people who struggle each day. Documentaries about someone's life or a particular illness try to dig deeper into someone's mental condition and why they act the way that they do. They tend to be more fairly represented and understood via a documentary. Since a documentary is intended to be educational, it's often a learning experience for those who are unaware of the condition. But there is one aspect to exposure to mental illness that is often extremely unhealthy. This is social media. Not only will people discriminate against one another on online chat forums, online video games, social media posts, and so on, they also promote an unhealthy way of dealing with a mental health condition. Social media should be used in moderation by a healthy person, but someone with depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem will often overuse it as their mental health begins to deteriorate. The person will become more depressed and upset with themselves, and some can exploit and glamorize their struggles to hide the intense pain they feel on the inside. This glamorization is a huge problem with social media, and is the reason why we should all use it sparingly and in moderation. So it's very true that movies, television, the news media often portrays those with a mental disorder, whether that be depression, anxiety, or some other condition such as bipolar or borderline personality disorder, whatever the condition is. They will often portray them in such a negative light that people end up being these people end up being stigmatized because there's a lot of false information that ends up going out. And the general public will end up thinking these people are threats. These people have to do a certain thing, have to be a certain way in order for them to fit the criteria of this mental condition. So that is the foundation of the stigmatization. But some people with this condition, with any sort of mental health condition, they can end up exploiting their mental health problem and glamorizing it. The glamorization of mental illness happens as follows. Someone who is emotionally unstable and depressed sees their friends online having a good time, perhaps on vacation, getting a new car, getting married, overall just successful and happy. This creates a sense of jealousy within the person as they feel bad about themselves and see all the reactions their friend gets on social media. Since social media intentionally targets those who have issues with self-esteem, showing them things that will make them feel worse about themselves, in addition to keeping them addicted to the site, this person sees their friends and other people engage in a happy, stress-free manner is no coincidence. The person with the mental illness decides to start posting, sharing things about themselves, photos, and even videos about how bad their life is, often to get attention from people because they feel alone and like no one is listening. This is a cry for help, but is often buried by a glamorization of one's mental illness. As they post, people start responding, saying positive, nice things, and it helps them feel better. But it persists, and the person keeps posting self-destructive content, looking for likes, comments, and just any interaction possible. It becomes an obsession, and each post has to be better than the previous. The stunt becomes more extreme as the person begins to exploit their own mental struggles, intentionally causing themselves physical and mental harm for sympathy from their followers and friends. This becomes a dangerous path where the person is so unstable and insecure that a post with less likes and interactions than the previous causes intense anxiety and stress. This never-ending cycle persists as the person is now addicted. looking for sympathy, playing right into the game that social media has laid out to get users hooked. If this describes you or someone you know, there are remedies to this. The most important one is to realize that validation does not come from external sources. It only comes from within, and thus no amount of sympathy from others will ever make one happy if they cannot be happy with themselves. So leave social media, stop using it so frequently, and put a cap on the time spent. There are more important things to focus on, such as your own well-being and happiness, than seeking validation from others that give you a false sense of happiness. You can be happy on your own, and all it takes is for you to find what makes you happy inside that only involves you. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. So the glamorization of these mental conditions and these mental disorders often happens as a result of social media and wanting acceptance from other people. If you've been abandoned your entire life, no one pays any attention to you, no one gives a second thought to you at all. You always feel as though you are left alone, isolated, just you want someone to pay attention to you. You go on social media, you start showing some pictures of yourself, some not so great photos of maybe things that you have done to yourself. Perhaps you write little blurbs about how bad your day is, how bad things are going for you. And you get sympathy from other people. Rightfully so, because other people are concerned, other people care about you. So you may get this from other people and you feel really good because that feels as though you are being uplifted here. The problem then is that that starts to become an addiction for you where you have to keep going more and more and more, that you're giving these people what they want to hear. But that's not exactly what's going on now. Because what's happening then is you are exploiting your own mental health condition, how you feel about yourself, your own depression, your own anxiety. You're exploiting that for attention and sympathy from other people. And this can be a very, very disastrous thing for not only your mental health, but for other people's as well, because this is the glamorization of mental health, mental illness. It's just going to cause a lot of other people to struggle with these sort of issues. So if that is you, you have to take a step back and realize what is actually going on here. What is causing this sort of behavior? Get off all the social media. Get off seeking attention and approval from other people, and instead focus on yourself. Find your inner happiness and you will be so much better. So be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel Shop for some inspiring designs. I'm sure you will like them. Also become a member to get early access to new content before it is publicly released to anyone else. You can get this content weeks and months before it goes public. So I want to thank you all so very much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts on this subject. I'm really curious to hear what your opinions and views are on this, or if you know someone, or if you were someone who glamorized their own mental health condition. So let me know. You all take care, have a great one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.